Hi, 6 out of 10 trans woman Ludwig wannabe here to tell you about the MrBeast situation. All right, look, I don't know why I'm making this video, but I read the article on the New York Times and it's just so insane. I feel like if somehow no one's going to talk about it, I want to be the one that talks about it. And I just feel like this weird opportunity, like I was just like graced with this crazy article that I just need to read out. So it's currently 2:47 a.m. I keep looking over here because that's like my monitor and I love looking at myself. It's 2:47 a.m. and I just got back from recording this Caleb Pitts MrBeast parody in my car. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And how you like this? If you want to go support it, that would really be appreciated. My tweets don't bang that often, but I think it's really funny. But anyway, look, so in case you're completely unaware, which is totally fair, honestly, I used to live like that. And for the past month, I've been on Twitter and Reddit way too much. And so now I know a lot about everything. But it's been a crazy month. So I think it's hard not to know everything. But basically, we can map it out like this. All right. It starts with the Ava Chris Tyson drama, where she gets exposed for talking to minors. And then the Chris Tyson situation getting worse was, when other people were coming out and saying like, yep, this happened to me too. MrBeast finally responded was when MrBeast gave his response about the Ava situation. And then MrBeast just destroyed his career. That might be, that's when the dog pack video came out. That wasn't staged. I genuinely forgot the roadmap here. That's when the dog pack video came out, and this is a pretty good video, by the way. It's a little iffy in some spots, but some things are genuine hard facts. There's some crazy illegal shit MrBeast has done. But anyway, so that's what that is. MrBeast situation just got worse was when it dives into a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. MrBeast's team finally responded was MrBeast's team responding to this video, and then MrBeast is threatening to sue people now is the dog pack getting a cease and desist, multiple seizes and desists. So we have a little bit to talk about because today at what exact time was it? Does it say? 12:17 p.m. and so it's 2:49 a.m. for me. So this is around 14 hours ago. I haven't seen a single YouTube video on this. Not that I don't think there's going to be. It's just, the exposure looks awful because this site doesn't have dark mode. There's a dark mode warning, everyone. Here we go. I look really overexposed. That's so bad. All right. Look, so this article comes out. Willing to die for MrBeast and $5 million. So this is a New York Times article, and this is where things get kind of insane because it's like previously, like everything's just kind of this internet drama. A couple little mainstreams are poking at it. This is the New York Times. I mean, that's like as big as shit gets. And now this article is kind of biased against MrBeast and is trying to frame him as this, like, and especially frame like his team and this show as like this evil thing. So I think it's very important to stay aware of that. I think there are plenty of people going through this show, like having a great time and enjoying it. But there's some weird things going on, and that starts with the waiver. The waiver they had to sign that says, I understand that such activities may cause me death, illness, or serious bodily injury, including but not limited to exhaustion, dehydration, overexertion, burns, and heat stroke. All right, and some people are saying like this is just a legal thing they put in most reality TV show contracts, but it's still like insane. It's like this is a MrBeast shoot where people are like, I may die for the content. And that's something MrBeast actually made them sign. I'm adjusting the light. And so, and so this is a little further down in the article. Over a dozen people who participated in the first installment of Beast Games said they had not received adequate food or medical care, that some competitors had suffered, injuries from the physical challenges. Right, so they're not getting adequate food or medical care on the set. And let's see, one of these, it gets into it later, but there was a weird thing with how they were told how many people were being, it's more than a MrBeast video. A MrBeast video will have like typically at maximum like 100 people. This was 1,000 people. This was MrBeast is like, we're going to have 1,000, narrow it down to 1. And so people were saying, we signed up for the show, but we didn't sign up for not being fed or watered or treated like human beings. That's crazy. So let's see. Yeah. So shooting starts with 2,000 contestants. And people were like, wait, like I thought it was 1,000. Like I just said, they were like, I thought it was 1,000. That's like, I signed up for 1,000. I calculated my odds at like 1 in 1,000. And so then there's a video that, and I can just hear this in MrBeast's like little voice. I can hear like, obviously there's 2,000 contestants. I don't remember if I said that publicly or not, but there is, like, just that kind of like nonchalant, like, oh, we just roll with it tone. And when you're working with like a real reality TV show like that, I think that's horrible. I think like, you can't have that like YouTube level of unprofessionalism when it's like you're shooting an Amazon show. Amazon gave this dude $100 million to make this show, and he's kind of just like throwing it around like, you know, YouTube style, like, Several contestants had not been warned about how little they were given to eat and how infrequently. They described going long stretches without being fed by the production. One said she had gone over 20 hours, both during the games and while they were in Las Vegas before and after filming. That's crazy, like a 20-hour stretch without being fed. And I have these in like a weird order sometimes because, you know, things string together. But one of these will say that the crew, they would be cussed out if they, some staff members yelled and cursed at contestants, one participant said, when they're talking about the food and the hygiene issues, you know? So yeah, contestants estimated they had been fed twice a day, once in the early morning and again in the afternoon or evening. And of course the spokesperson says like, oh, they were offered 3 meals a day. But I think later, it says like they had their like little Feastables chocolate break. And I'm assuming they're kind of counting Feastables chocolate time as like a meal slot. You know, oh, your little snack slot, your little Feastables slot. People with allergies and dietary restrictions were not like properly taken care of in that regard either. So if it's like, I'm allergic to fish and it's like, all right, here's some canned tuna for all of you. It's like, well, great, I can't have tuna. Shit like that. I think there was somewhere in there was Oh, it's right, literally right in front of me. They had an FAQ document where they specifically laid out what their food allergies were and how to amend to it, and it just, that never happened. Contestants described how MrBeast steps out of this shrine-like structure and onto a platform above $5 million in cash as they were all instructed to cheer. And just how like weird and egotistical this is for some of the people who like don't understand like his YouTube following. And it's like, that's complicated where it's like, treat this guy like a god, whether or not you even really know him that much, you know, and we're looking up at the sky, screaming at him like he's a god. Guards dressed entirely in black, complete with face coverings. Crazy. And then there was a psychologist there, and I was going to include a clip because there was a psychologist in a MrBeast video that just pissed me off, and it was like the lamest psychologist ever, just doing these like level 1 analysis. It's the 7 days in solitary confinement video. I couldn't find a good enough clip, but this like MrBeast psychologist is just like, yeah, we just need a psychologist. The psychologist explains that the health and safety are a priority, but you know what we're getting from it sounds like several people is that that's not the case. Here's what I was highlighting earlier. When they sought out protection from the staff members for assistance with medical care, food and hygiene issues, the staff members were not helpful and appeared disorganized. And this is where it's like kind of tough, where it's really hard to get like a full staff like that for like a 2,000 person shoot, especially when MrBeast is used to no more than 100 people. I think jumping to 2,000 is crazy. Doing 20x the number he's used to, and just assuming like, oh, we'll just hire whatever X amount of people I have for 1,000, we'll just hire 20 times as many people. I can like kind of hear that in his like Colin and Samir interview voice, you know. But this is tough. And Oh, this one was because I was just getting ready for work and I had this article on. I had it reading on my phone, just in like the normal Siri voice, and it was contestants were instructed. But this is crazy. So contestants had their 5 days of underwear in a Ziploc bag, and then they were told it would be distributed to you like once your games are over, and like, you know, throughout the several days. But then several contestants said they'd waited hours or days to receive clean underwear. And even the women who were menstruating during the production were told that, oh, that's not a medical emergency. So, you know, shut up, do your Beast games, not a medical emergency. And they're laughing at they're laughing. You're laughing. Women are menstruating and you're laughing. One contestant said she left the stadium bruised and bleeding after being injured and eliminated in the first challenge. And she was just handed the MrBeast 1000 stack, and she has to hand it back to production because they're gonna wire you your money. And then people were saying, even as of the publication date, and all this happened in like early July, and then as of publication date, nothing has been paid to them. That's crazy. Competitors were told they were they were retrieved their real payments later, but as of publication, nothing has been paid. And then this like ending note is like tough because it's like it's everything here, and then they had signed a contract that they were willing to die for this. And again, like I get the whole like this is very common for reality TV. It's like the protection in case someone dies on set. They signed a waiver that said they understood that risk. But that's crazy when it's like someone who makes YouTube videos is now delivering contracts to people that's like, you want to be in the production? You might die. And that's crazy. And then there were a couple little Reddit comments and threads I found interesting. No one is ever expected to presume they'll die in a multi-million-dollar supervised contest in a well-known brand name sponsored event. That's why it doesn't hold water. And you know, now I can turn my light back up since it's not bright white New York Times. When I was reading this article, I'm like, this feels like something I'm reading on Wikipedia that's like this disastrous 90s like horror TV show that like, oh, everything went so wrong. And I'm like, no, this happened like a month and a half ago. You know? It blows my mind away. Like it feels like I'm reading some weird horror. But not like fictional horror either. Like I'm reading like this like incident list on Wikipedia, but it's as we're going. And this one was this video was taken down and I couldn't get a copy. Someone downloaded it in the comments. I was gonna reach out, but I wanted to make the video. But basically the main summary is I guess there's a main summary over here, and that's that the contestants were acquired through a casting agency. So the contestant in this video is an aspiring actor, and they were told the show was airing on Amazon Prime. They would have a chance to win $5 million competing against 1,000 people. And so again, everyone's told 1,000, and then it's 2,000. I don't know if that's like a MrBeast pulling the curtains type of thing where he's like, you were told it would be 1,000, but it's actually 2,000, or if it is just that like kind of, I don't really know. But either way, and then production picked the winners of certain challenges instead of actually basing it on their performances. And in the New York Times article, they described one of the challenges being like a real like tug of war thing, and how the challenges were biased from the start. And people were comparing it to Squid Games, where it's like, well, in Squid Game, most of the challenges are relatively like for anyone. Like, I'm trying like the cookie thing, where you had to play the different game with was it like 10 dice? I don't remember. They had to throw something. Or like all the games in Squid Game weren't biased towards any physical strength or like smart with like numbers or anything. And the difference was with the Beast games, they are biased towards that. It'll be like who's stronger, who's faster, and things like that. They were not paid for their travel expenses nor their time on camera. That's crazy. And some of the contestants' actors will not get the chance to be an actual Amazon Prime series as they had hoped, since some of the videos will air on YouTube instead. So they weren't even told that, oh, your content is on Prime. Oh, your content is on YouTube. They were just, they went into it assuming they were going to be on Prime, and they were just on YouTube. That's insane. I didn't even read that part. But yeah. During the event, we were told that producers would select the winner of the 5 million, which made me feel misled since I believed it was a fair competition. And it should be. MrBeast is supposed to be the guy that's able to make Squid Game happen in real life, but not in a dystopian way. And somehow he did it in a dystopian way. I think that was some comment around here, is like, he was supposed to make Squid Game, but then he ended up actually making Squid Game. It seems like they needed background people, which explains why most participants, including myself, are actors. We were approached through agents or casting networks. This situation makes me feel taken advantage of, especially since I had plans for the prize money to support philanthropic causes. Man, you know? So like, Beast Games, bro, what happened? Like, how did we get here? It's like the biggest thing, I guess, is like, way more people than he could have ever imagined to work with. And I think that's what he was getting at, like going for doing 1 through 100 again was like, here's how we can try more people at once, and with the YouTuber video, like trying to level his stuff up, but he still jumped way too fast, and now he's working with 2,000 people at once, and wow. But it's crazy that like, it's crazy how fast this all came. Like literally, when the dog pack video came out, 9 days ago, literally 10 days ago, like MrBeast had like a clear name, like a clean name. You know, like the Ava stuff was going on, but the MrBeast himself was completely in the clear, and that's insane to me. That like all this, and now it's just common for it to be like, oh yeah, there's just actors. Oh, they were from a casting agency. You know what? I thought he was the guy who didn't fake stuff, and now it's like he fakes stuff. He runs illegal lotteries. I'm like going insane. Not that I was like a sheep NPC before that was like, I love the YouTube slot, but like, he was the GOAT. You know, he got to #1 for a reason. But anyway, I gotta wrap this up. That's the New York Times article on MrBeast. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers on this channel. That'd be cool. That's my Christmas wish. And yeah, stay informed out there. Do your own research. Feel free to read the entire article. I know I kind of highlighted the parts I found most interesting, but the whole thing is just an insane read where you really feel like you're down a Wikipedia rabbit hole of horrors that happened years and years ago that we have all these safety in place for, but we don't. You know, we very clearly don't. And that's the fact that this was happening on an Amazon Prime show. This isn't like, you know, this disastrous YouTube video he tried to do. This is like the Amazon Prime series. Like, shouldn't Amazon have had a guy like watching? Is that what happens when you give creators full creative control? Ugh, that's tough. Well, anyway, goodbye, everyone. Please enjoy. I mean, please, thank you for enjoying if you did. All right, goodbye.